Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to Prime Health RN's Nurse Insights. This is our monthly wellness webinar. Are y'all ready to hear from one of our amazing nurse coaches today? Give me a thumbs up. That's awesome. So you're going to love what you learn in today's webinar. If you enjoy our free webinars, please don't forget to like and subscribe to stay up to date on the latest in health and wellness. And for those of you on the call, I have put the YouTube link in the chat. So to get started, I just have a disclaimer. Everything we are going to discuss today is wellness related. We are not providers and we do not give medical or therapeutic advice. Also, any results discussed today may not be typical and individual results can vary. Also, I want to let you know that we are not selling anything to you today. The purpose of this webinar is to provide you with valuable information to get on the path to better health. So at Prime Health RN, we are all professional health coaches who have a nursing background, and we will let you know how to get in touch with us at the end of this presentation. But for now, I want you to get ready because what you're going to learn today is so valuable and life-changing. Our speaker today is JeanMarie Mitchell. She is a registered nurse, a health coach, and a yoga teacher with 28 years of experience. She is going to teach us how to get out of burnout and reignite our purpose in life. So without further ado, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Amanda. I appreciate the opportunity to be here and talk about such an important topic. I feel that so many of us are walking around feeling stressed beyond limits and, get to that point of feeling burnout. So I just wanted to paint two little pictures. One, brand new nurse right out of nursing school, who wound up having to be in charge of a 24 patient unit, also in charge of an LPN. So just one RN, one LPN for 24 patients, with the only knowledge I had as a new nurse was nursing school. This was my first ever job working night shift, which did not agree with my body. Anybody who's worked night shift, raise your hand. It is difficult getting your system regulated, being able to sleep normal hours, eat normal hours, just every part of you just feels out of sorts. And it was a lot of responsibility, not sure that, I felt supported or safe in the practice. So it really wasn't a good introduction to what I just spent 4 years going to school for and wanting to be my career that took me through things. So I would say that was probably my first experience with feeling burnout. And brand new to a profession is not how you want to start out. Another time I can remember being very burnt out was being a mom with a toddler, pregnant, again, working kind of both shifts, day shift, night shift, depending upon my childcare needs, which is, a big stressor there. My husband traveling while building a house and taking care of everything else. And again, it just, when you feel like you have so much on your plate that you almost can't breathe, you get to that point of just feeling like you need to shut down. You're irritable, you're low energy, headaches, stomach aches, just kind of wanting to close the door and cry, lack of motivation, not wanting to, when you are not working or having things to do, wanting to go out and be around people because you just feel so drained. So these are two personal situations where I have felt burnout. Now, stress is a normal part of our everyday life. Stress motivates us to do things. Stress can be a good thing, but when we let our stressors take over, when we let them pile up and we don't know how to deal with them, is when we get to that point of burnout. So we talked about some of the symptoms, some lesser known symptoms: making mistakes, being forgetful, feeling guilty about not being able to get it all done, and just neglecting basic needs, not wanting to put your makeup on, or, get dressed, do your hair, just letting things fall to the wayside because you just don't have the energy to take care of them. As a nurse coach, one of the things that, we can help with is just giving you space to feel heard, to support you, to notice the things that really create those feelings of stress and anxiety, to collaborate and make changes to your daily habits, to assess where your support systems are, help you practice speaking up for your needs, reaching out to those people, whether it's at work or your family, or getting extra help around the house, things that you can do to help take some of the things off of your plate to help you be able to handle that stress, to not get to the point of burnout. As a yoga teacher, a couple of the main points for me, it's not about how flexible you are, how strong you are, or what position you can get in, which is what most people think of when they hear yoga. It's about being mindful. It's about finding body awareness. It's about, being able to notice those changes in your body and to be able to tune into them and recognize when they're screaming out for help. Being mindful and just being present in the moment, not always trying to think 10 steps ahead, not always worrying about what's going to happen next, just being present in that space. And then recognizing your breath, because when we are feeling stressed, we hold our breath, we don't breathe, and our body really takes a toll from that point. So those are a couple other tools that, we would assess and, try and learn. And that's the main thing that we try and look at, is what kind of tools can we use to prevent burnout. So increasing your self-awareness, recognizing, whether it's self-reflection, journaling, again, just stopping for a second to take a deep breath, finding those support systems, making sure to make time for fun and creative outlets, finding a new hobby, other things, reading, music, setting limits, learning when enough is enough, knowing when your plate is full, not feeling bad about saying no, that you can't take on something else, being grateful, starting a gratitude journal, or even just any kind of journaling your feelings, finding that balance. And that is what I try to work with my clients, is to find balance and alignment in their life. And that is all parts: mind, body, spirit, your home life, your relationships, your work, your health. All of those things need to work tangibly together to feel.
I don't think that a lot of people realize how much this chronic stress can affect your health. And I know from my experience, anytime you have stress, you're increasing the cortisol levels in your body, and that leads to weight gain, that leads to heart disease. It can lead to autoimmune disorders. So why don't you talk a little bit about how the coaching and coaching someone through the burnout, how that affects your health? Because I feel like a lot of people hear this and they may think, well, that's great, but do I really need that? Let's talk about that. Like, how does it actually help your health?
Yeah. So, well, when you learn how to regulate yourself and you learn those tools, again, like you said, when you're walking around feeling stressed, you're increasing your blood pressure. You know what I mean? So your heart's working harder. You're increasing those chances of having a stroke, having a heart attack. Like I said, cortisol plays such a big part in our fight and flight. And when we're constantly in the fight mode, you know what I mean? It just starts to break down all of those systems. So practicing with someone, how to slow down, how to take a deep breath, how to get things off of your chest, they all bring down that stress level, which is going to prevent many health issues that people wind up in because they just don't address their stress. They just think, oh, it's just normal. Oh, I just have to get through this. I just have to get through that. So taking the time to work with somebody to learn what is deep breathing? How do I take a deep breath? I feel like I'm breathing, but no, there's lots of ways to learn how to focus on your breath, how to make sure that, your lungs are taking in all the air they can, how to make sure that that sends that oxygen up to your brain and back to your heart again. So again, it's a matter of assessing, where somebody is at and being there to support them to get all those channels working together, that work for them, to individualize them, because anybody can say, oh, you need to do this or that, but not every single tool or solution is going to work for every single person. So it's about creating long-lasting small habits that are individualized for each person so that they feel supported and heard and able to make changes in their life to decrease their stress levels.
Yeah, and I know for me personally, coaching is almost like a gift to yourself because you think, oh, I don't really need to do that. Like I can do that on my own. And then when you're somebody who's dealing with all these things that you have to get done and kids and work and paying the bills and taking care of cooking dinner, all the things, you don't make time for that. So that's part of what coaching is also. It's that accountability to meet with somebody who says, okay, have you scheduled time for yourself this week? Because we usually don't, especially if we're the kind of people who tend to get burned out because we're overachievers. So it's really a gift to yourself. And in the long run, it is going to make you healthier because once you learn how to regulate, you learn how to bring those cortisol levels down, it is going to have a positive effect on your health. And that's the whole point. We don't we don't want to just meet with you just to chat. We're actually meeting with you to try to give you tools and resources to improve your mental health, your physical health, all of those things. And that's what we do.
Yeah. Not
Awesome.
only treating your health, but when you start taking care of yourself, it affects the people around you. Your family see a difference because you're not walking around so irritable and cranky and tired all the time. You're ready to run out and go play soccer in the yard with your kids instead of feeling like you just need to sit down and do nothing. You want to go out, you want to do things. You're more present, you're more focused. Which it trickles to all of the parts of your life, all of your relationships, your work. You come in with a better attitude, not the gloom and doom. Oh, I got to go to work today. You enjoy things more. You find that pleasure again.
Absolutely. So that is amazing. Thank you for the eye-opening information about stress and burnout. I know I personally have been there. A lot of our viewers are going to relate to this because it's pretty common in our American lives that we don't learn how to slow down and take times for ourselves. So now that you have all this amazing information, time to connect with one of our expert health coaches. So instead of struggling in a system that turns you into a number or a checklist, our coaches give you the personalized attention that you need to get on track to success and to health. I'm going to show you now. I'm going to actually share screen and I'm going to show you how you can connect with us. So this is Prime Health RN, in case you're curious. If you scroll down here, we have some health focus areas, and this is just a way for you to connect with a coach that addresses your specific issue. We all can do general health and wellness coaching, but some of us specialize, and we have years of experience in some of these areas. I know I do have some coaches who have worked in oncology nursing for years, and they do cancer support because that's what they love. Overcoming stress, mindful living. So all these things are here for you to explore. And then you come up here and find the perfect health coach. And if you search, this is gonna narrow it down by location. If you want to put your location, and you can find all of our coaches. I will pull up your profile. So here's JeanMarie Mitchell, and it gives all of her information. And then you can click here to book a free consultation, and also find her services down at the bottom. So that's how you find us if you're interested. Like I said, all of our coaches do free consultations. Some of our coaches even do a whole free session if you want to try it out, just so you can see if this whole coaching thing is right for you, which I can tell you everybody I've ever coached and everybody I've ever talked to that's been through coaching, go in, you're not really sure what it's all about, but you come out saying, wow, that was transformational in more ways than you realize. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this webinar. If you like and subscribe, you will be able to connect with us and see all the future webinars. We have some already up. Also on Facebook, you can find us at Prime Health RN on Facebook and connect with us that way, because I'm always sending out information about health and wellness. So I hope you have a great rest of your day, and thank you so much for joining.